Today I'm with Julie Jeppson, the Executive Director at Stepping Stone Emergency Housing, and we're going to be doing these periodic check-ins just to get some information out to you, the folks that make Stepping Stone work, and that is our donors. And we thought that during this time of social distancing, that a great way for us to get in front of you would be to create some videos and some updates on what's going on at the shelter, where things kind of stand for the shelter, and most importantly, our residents, and how you could maybe help us in our mission to help these folks strive for self-sufficiency. So that mission doesn't end just because of our current healthcare crisis, and we just want to do everything we can to connect you with an opportunity to give. I hear from a lot of folks how they want to give, but just don't know how. So this is our attempt to make it available to you. And to that end, I'm just going to dive right in and turn some things over to Julie. I guess the first place to start, Julie, is just to introduce yourself, I guess, to folks who may not be familiar with you, and how long you've been at Stepping Stone, your role, and anything else you'd like to share with us.
Yeah, so thanks for this opportunity, Jeff. Jeff is the newest team member at Stepping Stone as our development officer. So thanks for putting this together. The world of development and fundraising, I'm anticipating, as we know it, is going to change even after this coronavirus has passed. And so I think a lot of times this is how you're going to hear from us now. So thank you for the opportunity, Jeff. So yes, I'm the Executive Director for Stepping Stone Emergency Housing. I've been the Executive Director now for about 2.5 years, but as of next week, I think next week, Wednesday, it will be my 8-year anniversary with Stepping Stone. So throughout those 8 years, I have seen some dramatic changes, both all positive, really, in how we carry out our mission, but never before, as everyone is experiencing, never before have I seen changes quite to this extreme. And like you said, our mission doesn't stop. And unfortunately, our mission is even greater now, because those who are affected by homelessness and experiencing homelessness are, as far as the data is showing, as far as everything we're hearing, are most often going to be the most severely affected by this virus because of age, because of current health care, and because of compromised immune systems.
Okay. And I think that leads us right in. You mentioned people experiencing homelessness, and if there's some folks out there that maybe haven't spent a lot of time talking about or learning about that, that's one of the things I guess I'd point out, is that we don't, that term, people experiencing homelessness, can you kind of explain where that comes from and why we say that versus some other things that we might say about homelessness?
Sure. So putting the label on a human being that they are homeless creates a certain stigma about an individual, and especially in this day and age, homelessness there's so many variables that contribute to an individual experiencing homelessness, and it is an experience. It is a moment in time. There is hope to getting out of this situation that they're in. And so once you call an individual, a human being, homeless, there's so many other connotations that go with it. And so it's just reworking our vocabulary and our mindset to not keep that person in that box, but just respecting them and dignifying them as a human being, and that it's just a moment that, and an issue that they're dealing with right now.
Yeah, I think it's a great way to define the experience rather than the person.
Exactly.
And show how temporary that experience can be for some of our folks.
Exactly.
What are your current thoughts? You've kind of dove into it just a little bit, but as this has maybe as we've led up to the current healthcare crisis with COVID-19, and as we're getting into it more, just coming into this period of time, what are your current thoughts on the homelessness experience for folks? Where are you at, I guess, in terms of the significance and the future outlook and things like that on the homelessness experience?
Oh, that is a big question. um, that is a really hard question because I, of all people, am the last person who should answer that question. Not being homeless myself, not being on the verge of becoming homeless. I don't know how our residents are there, where they are mentally in dealing with this crisis. That is a really, really great and very, very hard question to answer. Um, from the perspective of Stepping Stone, however, just trying to talk to our residents and understand where they're coming from and understanding what their needs are, um, how their needs have possibly increased. Because right now, I mean, the needs of a resident are very great. And right now, with services and the availability of services being either cut or totally stopped, is very challenging. And for us, we have put in place some policies to remove any additional people from coming into the shelter and reducing our staff from about 15 during the week to 2 to 4 during our 24/7 shifts. So yeah, their needs are greater, but the services just are getting cut back for the safety and security of all. So just trying to support them still the best way we can.
Yeah. That brings up kind of a great segue into the next question that I had for you, Julie, is how is the current crisis impacting the residents? Are you getting any sense for that from the residents themselves? And I really do appreciate, you bringing up the fact that our our perception of that experience is nowhere near what someone who's actually experiencing it might be. We can only kind of guess and
Yeah,
postulate on what that is. And as we move into this new social connection that we're moving into on at Stepping Stones, that's one of the things I just kind of wanted to point out to everybody too, that we're going to be I know annually we've been doing the Real Stories One Stage event, and that's been a great way to kind of get the stories from the mouths of our residents directly to the folks out there who can help them. And in an attempt to kind of do that and make it a little bit more regular rather than just the one time a year, we're going to start doing a resident spotlight on with some of our willing residents who can actually talk to. So look for that in the coming days and weeks, where we'll have some kind of regular visits and check-ins with some of those residents. But just from your perspective, how is this current crisis impacting some of our residents in
yeah.
the shelter itself?
Well, in a number of ways. As I mentioned, there's a lot of services and supports outside of the shelter that have either significantly pulled back or stopped. At Stepping Stone, one of the requirements for a new resident coming in is to meet with their case manager and create their housing plan for both the short-term and the long-term goals. As an example, we have a resident who is trying to get his driver's license and his social security card totally put on hold.
Hmm.
Totally put on hold. Can't get a driver's license or social security card right now, which causes even more milestones for employment and housing and all of those other things that come with simply a driver's license and a copy of your social security card. The other component that we deal with is that for someone who is experiencing homelessness, a huge part of the reason why they're experiencing homelessness is because they don't have a support system and because they are alone in this world. And so, even though social distancing might be a godsend for some people, or an annoyance for some people, for those experiencing homelessness, it's just another way for them to feel isolated,
Mm-hmm.
another way for them to not have or discontinue a support system. And that can be very detrimental for our residents who worked so hard and who are on the cusp of moving out. We have a resident who is slated to move out April 1st. We'll see if that actually happens. I don't know. I'm waiting to hear back. But I mean, how is her life going to change? She's almost resolved her homelessness, and now because of this virus, it may be it may not be happening. And so just those wins and 2 steps forward and 5 steps back, and those annoyances and those frustrations for us are huge life-changing events for them.
Yeah, and I think as that's one of the things that I see is probably one of the main, I don't know, the main benefit, but it's a big benefit to being a resident at Stepping Stone, is that ability to connect socially and to develop some better relationships with folks, to have that support of the staff, case managers and other staff there to help them uh, help different people form better relationships and and develop that social network beyond in real life that now is being hampered because of that. I think it's a huge thing that we can provide them, and all of that happens because of our donors, you, the folks out there watching this. What are some of, I'd put down kind of our current goals, but I think what I'd rather us talk about for a moment, Julie, if you don't mind, is what are the specific needs that we have or that our residents have that we need donors to help us with right now?
Yeah. So we are a 24/7 facility. We are staffed 24/7. Residents can come and go 24/7. Now, with the stay-at-home executive order by the governor, that's going to be changing a little bit. But at the main foundation of who we are, we provide every basic need for a resident. And one of the major basic needs that we provide is food. We provide 3 meals a day. And with the schools closing and the restaurants closing, both of who we partner very, very closely in getting donations, those donations have abruptly stopped. But we still need to feed people. And so the budget that we have for purchasing of food is going to greatly increase. And so there are 2 asks. We need money and we need food. We need money to purchase the food or food donations. And so the money, if you would like to donate a dollar, if you donate $1,000, whatever you're most comfortable with and what you can afford, you can easily donate through a safe and secure spot on our website. Or also on our website, on our homepage, we just kind of change things up a little bit for the ease of viewers to access. We have a list of food donations that we would love to accept, as well as an Amazon wish list, charity wish list of those same food donations, so that people can just purchase things through Amazon and ship them directly to us.
Excellent. And I'll make sure when we put this video out that we put those links, but it's
Right.
www.steppingstoneeh.org. We'll get folks to the main page, and I know across the top there's a donate button on the menu. You can click on that. It'll link you right to a safe and secure way to donate money online, but then it'll also talk to you about some of the other needs that we have that aren't monetary. So if you wanted to make a direct food donation, what kind of foods are we looking for specifically? Do we have anything in particular we're hoping to get donated? And then on that top of that, what's the best way for them to get a food donation to us?
Sure. So many of the items that are on the list are non-perishable items, crackers, chips. So primarily how we get even more of our donations, especially during the summertime when the school is closed, we have a very good relationship with Second Harvest Heartland. So we do have the budget to purchase a lot of our food, a lot of our meats, some vegetables online through that organization, which is wonderful. So it's just those extra things to support the lean meats and the base of a meal, to support that main meal through the purchases at the grocery store or Amazon. And so chips and pasta and sauces and canned fruits and canned vegetables, things like that, instant oatmeal, protein bars. We have some individuals who are diabetic, and so they have dietary concerns. So breakfast is a huge one for instant meals that you can just add hot water. Powdered lemonade for beverages during the week. Coffee is a huge one. Coffee grounds, ground coffee. Yeah, just simple things like that are huge.
Excellent. And best ways to get them to the shelter?
Sorry, yes. So Amazon is a great way. Otherwise, if you want to go to the grocery store and pick things up, purchase them, let me know that you are coming by, because again, we're not allowing any non-residents or non-staff into the building right now. But if you let us know when approximately you're going to be coming, and then I can update staff so that they can anticipate your arrival, you can just drop the food off at our front door and they'll accept the donation.
Excellent. And if they wanted to get in touch with us, to set something like that up, would you want them to contact you directly then, Julie?
Yeah, that's fine. My email address is Jeppson, so it's JJEPPSON at steppingstoneeh.org.
Perfect. All right. Well, I really appreciate you taking a few minutes and just talking through some of this with me. Hopefully, you guys out there, the donors, have some exciting ideas on how you can help out and get involved with helping fulfill a real need for our residents as they look to and look forward to getting back to that self-sufficiency. Anything else that you want to close with, Julie? Or I really appreciate this time. And
No, not right now. I just thank anyone and everyone for anything that they can do right now. I know we're all struggling. We're all trying to figure this out. And if you could just think maybe in a moment in a day about those who have no means and no way to figure this out, and no place to go and no place to get support, those are the people that are going to be seriously affected by this. And just know that there's organizations like us that are really working very hard to continue helping them and supporting them through this.
excellent. Well, thank you very much. And be sure, everyone, to tune in to this and subsequent videos. We'll be putting them out via social media and emails. And we're just going to do our best to stay in touch with folks and get word out of how people can help. So thanks, Julie.
Thank you.